Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the Learning Podcast. I'm your host Naman Shah and today we have a special guest, Mr. Vatsal Shah. He is the founder of Logic 101, one of the best RUBIK'S Academy in Ahmedabad. In 3 years, they have successfully trained more than 2,500 kids all around India and they are having 6 trainers who are passionate to train kids. I warmly welcome you to the Learning Podcast. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Naman. Yes,
So let's start with the interview with our
sure,
questions. The first question of this interview is how did you find your passion in Rubik's Cube?
sure. So there's a long story behind it. First of all, giving my introduction, I'm Vatsal here and I'm mechanical engineer. I completed my engineering from Charusat University in 2017. And after that, I was working in an MNC. I was having my job. And along with that, one fine day, we just visited Crossword and we just saw Rubik's Cube. So that's where I just saw it for the first time in 2017 after completing my college and, getting it into the job and all that part. So then I started exploring that what this all is about. Let me first try to solve it first and all that stuff I started with. And then eventually my passion was anyways into the teaching part. I used to serve in NGO and teach the mathematics subject and all that part. So anyways, I was having some keenness and willingness to, teach something. So then I learned the Rubik's Cube first, and then I started, one-on-one coaching and going far to explain some of the friends and relatives and all that part, just to see like whether it is actually feasible or also like, is this something which has to be taught, something like that. So then eventually the journey started early in the 2018 and, that way. So along with my job, Monday to Saturday, I used to go on job and Sundays I used to take this coaching like that, right? So that's how it started. Then eventually it went into detail and the further steps it went on. Then one after another, the things went on, it get unbuilt gradually that way. So yeah, that's how it started. And then finally in 2019, the time came that I decided that I want to, excel in this particular field because this is something which is very much potential. I had a deep research study when I was having my job for the 1 year and all. So this was my passion. Study was, teaching was my passion and all. So that's how it started. And now from 2019 onwards, Logic 101 is being, successfully running on. That's how it started. So that's how I converted my passion into this particular part.
Was that first learning from the Learning Podcast is you can follow a passion and build a great initiative out of it.
Yes, completely. I completely agree with that point. So yes, totally agree. This is a fun journey, There's always ups and downs which comes when you go along with, there are several things which you have to face. All the storms are against you. Like, how is it possible? How will you do something? How will you build your career based on this? There are so many things coming across, but then you have to stick to what you want to do, right? So there has to be a firm decision which you have to take at certain point. And then eventually the things will turn out to be correct if you have faith and conviction in what you have decided to do. So that's how this went on, and it is going very nicely right now. We have a good student base from across India and overseas also. So that's how this has been going right now.
So the second question for this interview is how was Rubik's Cube helpful to you? What are the benefits of solving a Rubik's Cube?
Sure. So first of all, I will give you an introduction about what is Logic 101. So Logic 101 means developing logic to each and every kid. That's how we name this term, right? And our tagline is unleash your intelligence. So we want to make sure that, that the logic should get built up at the end of the day, right? And 101 is like 100 plus 1. So you just can't do 100%. You have to be like 101%. 1% extra will always take you to the extra mile. So that's how our team works. My personal view for the team members is 101 has a meaning, 100 plus 1. 100% to everyone does. We have to do 1% extra to reach that particular thing. So whatever I have done from the very scratch level, I made sure that this should make, some deep meaning. It should not be like a random part, like it should not be random. And Rubik's Cube has taught me one thing, that nothing is impossible in life. Whatever the things are, whatever the struggles come across, at the end of the day, if you are calm and patient and just work the way as it should be, the things are always possible. The solutions always come across. You just have to be little more patient, and the time is the best solution. So you have to wait for the right time, right opportunity. And that's how this particular thing I have learned from, doing this since last 3.5 years now. So that is the overall idea. And basically, this is not a Rubik's Cube training center. First, I wanted to clear that. Our concept is that this is a brain gym. Okay. Where what happens is you go to the gym for your physical exercise, right? Like you go on treadmill and you do certain exercise to keep your physical body active, right? So we have, in fact, the audience, most of the parents say that we want to keep our kids away from the gadgets, but they haven't given something which is very lucrative, which will keep them away. So that's the reason this all things will help, build child's focus, concentration level. So Rubik's Cube is just a tool which is helpful in sharpening their mind. Okay, so we have 25 different shapes of cube. I will show you in some time. So this all are tool, and this is a brain gym. You are sending your kids to the brain gym where their mind is getting developed. Okay, so that's how this concept is all about, more than a Rubik's Cube. So that way.
That's a great answer.
Yes,
Good
correct.
question for the interview is, how did you started Logic 101? What problems did you face and how did you solve it?
Yeah, correct. That's a very nice question. So basically, as I just, said few minutes back, that this journey started in 2018. At that time, nothing was there. I was just, traveling 15-20 kilometers just to teach one kid, to check whether this is actually feasible or not. I was very thankful to the parents who gave me a chance to teach their kids, and all that stuff. So one kid, two kid, like in 2 months or 3 months, I was like only 4 or 5 kids I have trained. So at that time I was in the mind that, how will this work out, but deep within I was having that insight that no, this is something which has a potential. When chess came 10-15 years back, no one was knowing about it, but now it is into the boom, right? Similarly for the Rubik's Cube. So when it started, the awareness was not there. It was just seen as a, game or toy or whatever it is, but it is more than that. So that's how I started my journey, and eventually 1 kid, 2 kid, 5 kid, 10 kids, 15, 20, 25. So in 1 year, I completed like 100 kids, 120 kids. I completed the training purpose. Then finally, I left my job and I started the company, and officially we started into this. I was the only one when I started, and right now we are a team of like 8 trainers, and specific marketing part is being taken care, and all that thing is being done, right? So that's how this started. And there were so many problems, as I just said, like no one was ready. There was no support, just my parents were with me that you just do what you like to do. Don't just listen to what others are saying, or don't get afraid if you fail also. So that support I was having on the back of my mind. Then one of my, I would say he's more than God for me right now, my partner, Mr. Brijesh, he gave me a support, mental support, financial support, whatever it was. And that's how we started back in 2019. Then we formed the company institute as in that way. And we had the trainers and all that part going on a full-fledged basis. So that's how we started. And the main problems that I faced was the resources problem, like how to sell the concept. Like people will, whether they will believe also or they will not believe. That was the major problem. And second problem was, the resources, as I said, like they were not very easily available. In terms of training, it's not very easy to train when it comes to virtual platform or physical platform or whatever it is. So yeah, but eventually only one thing I would say, that because it was sorted in my mind, because it was very firm in my mind that I want to excel and I want to make this happen. So the thing, ups and downs came, but at the end we sailed across, and right now, yeah, it's going on a smooth ride.
So it was a tough journey for you, but the
Yes,
ending is
correct.
a successful journey.
Yes, still it is just a starting, it's just a tip of the iceberg, but I will just show you my website and all what we have designed right now. So people are loving it. People are just taking it very nicely, the concept it is being, and the way it is, benefiting child's mind. So my vision is not just a Rubik's Cube. My vision is that it should be completely like a brain gym, all the activities, like all the puzzles like Sudoku and Brain Vita and whatnot, everything will be included, but it will take certain time, everything takes time. Like this 3 years I have given, so this one particular thing is now sorted. Eventually, when this is on the automatic mode, then we can switch on to the next mode. So when I started, this one line of Dalai Lama, I just loved that you think 1,000 times before you are taking a decision. But once you are done taking a decision, then just don't look back. Just go forward. Whatever things come across, you have to face it and you have to face it. But that's it, nothing. So I stick to it, the conviction, the faith, and yeah, now it's like set. Yeah.
Wonderful journey.
Yeah, correct.
Fourth question for the interview is how many types of cubes or mind cubes or do you teach at Logic 101? How many cubes are
Sure,
there?
I'll just show you some of them. Like we have certain labels, we have divided and categorized this in the form of labels, I would say. So I will show some of them. Like we start with the 2x2 part, that is the basic one. Then this is the square 3x3 one. Recently what we just completed and just launched was this 9x9 cube. I think this is still like, people think that oh aisa bhi koi cube hota hai, but yeah, it is still 17x17, right? This is just 9x9, it goes till 17x17. So these are all the square shapes. Then if we see about the different shapes, I'll show you some of the different shapes. Like this is a mirror cube. There was one movie called Bang Bang. In that, yes, correct. In that, Hrithik Roshan solves this cube. This is completely based on the shapes. There are no particular colors in it. So yes, correct. Right, this is mirror cube. Then after that is something called pyramid. This all are basically 3-dimension puzzles. So triangle and the 3-dimension is called pyramid. So that's how it works. Right, then there is something called cube. So there are in total 25 to 27 shapes of cube, yeah, which is being taught at the moment. Right, I'll show you quickly a few of them. This is called Mega Minx. This is a 12-sided one. Then this is something called gear cube. It works in the form of gear. Yes, correct. You already have them. Then this is called square one. This comes in one of the top 5 hardest cubes. So there are no.
What is the name of this cube?
This is called square one. Square one. Yeah. Right. Then there is something called twister cube, because it is in the form of a twist. So every cube is being named behind the shape or whatever it is. It is being designed that way. And then this also comes in one of the top 5 hardest cube, ghost cube. It will not move horizontal or vertical. It will only move in the slant position. It will only move in the slanting position like this. So yeah, that's how this is. Right?
It's
so,
like
yeah.
the gym has equipments for your physical strength. These are the equipments for your mental strength.
For the mental.
Yeah.
Correct.
In your mind. So these
Yes.
were the some cubes which you train, which you keep the training at Logic 1.
Yes, correct. We have several other exercises also, like we have the blindfolded part also, like you have to solve the cube with the blindfolded part. Then there is something called where you have to solve it with the one hand and one
for
foot.
it, right?
Levels for it, yes, correct. You have to go one step further, one step in detail every time. So that's how this
For
works.
the people who want to learn the Rubik's Cube or want to train their mind in Logic 101, the link of Logic 101 is in the description. Check it out.
Yes, I'll just share my website and
Yeah.
I'll just think I can't share it right now. Enabling.
Just a minute, I'll try. No problem, I'll share the website in my description.
Perfect. That sounds good. So you can see like what all varieties are there and what all stuff is possible. I also love to write, because all these things I have done, no, personally with first hand.
The
So
writing
that's
part
the
I'm
reason
inspired as I'm an author. I'm interested.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct. So there is a separate, I have made a web page called Science Behind Cubic. In that I have written how does this, scientifically works. Like how does this help in developing child's left brain? This is a left brain development activity. So everything is being mentioned so that, parents are more aware. Like, see, Rubik's Cube you want to do or not do, that's a separate part. The only thing is you should at least know that how it is beneficial. Then if
What
you're
are the
doing or not doing,
benefits?
that's absolutely okay. Correct.
We'll share that website also down in the description. Check it.
Yes, correct.
So the fifth question for this interview is 3 life lessons you have learned from your Rubik's Cube. What are the 3 life lessons from the Rubik's Cube?
As I said, first life lesson is that I've gone through this Steve Jobs interview one time, and I was just going through that, and I just listened. At that time, I just listened like whatever you want to do, it's entirely possible. Don't just listen to the voice of others. Whatever you want to do, that is possible. And right now, the first lesson that I learned from my personal experiences that yes, it is entirely possible if you make up your mind. And if you stick to it, whatever things come across, you don't have to fall down. You don't have to
Never
think
give up.
twice. Never give up is the first thing, that I would just love to say that it is absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth it when you see, if you see connecting the dots back like down the line 2-3 years that way. So that is the first thing. Second thing is always be very positive. Have a positive mindset. Okay. Yes, mindset is everything. I mean, some of my friend got job in Google, and if I think that, he's earning this much, and if I'm doing this, because for the first 2 years, we were just keeping the money. We were not earning anything out of it. So, that particular period is something which is actually not that easy to, sail across it. So the second thing is that you have to be very positive, and the mindset should be such that you stick to your work and then you just keep on doing. So that's all I would like to say. That's all life lessons is what I have learned from this basic journey. I think you are on the mute.
Yeah,
so
I'm telling that this interview is full of learnings. It's very beneficial for the audience.
Yes, because we have seen from the very scratch, started this journey from the very scratch level, like very zero level. Nothing was there, no base was there. And everything right now what we have to do is manage a team of 10 members and all that part that just follow. You don't just have to see that I want this, that. Okay, fine, that is the final destination. Okay, if you just follow what you have to do, you will at the end of the day reach there. You just don't have to look at every time whether I have reached. No, you just have to do what you are doing correctly. Everything else will just come across. It's not a problem.
Absolutely.
This I can say because I have, first-hand experience. I can't just do the random thing, and I can't just say the random things. If you just see the work across, that's the confidence with which I can just, pitch in that this is how it works.
Absolutely. I agree with it. The sixth question and the last question for this interview is a message for an audience. What is your message for the audience?
Message for the audience is it's very simple. See, I don't want to say that just do it this way. Everyone has their own way of doing. Everyone has their own approach. Everyone has their own perspective. Okay, so what I would say from my experiences, do what you like and like what you do. Okay, don't doubt it. If you will doubt it, then there's a problem. If you are not liking the job, feel free to quit it. Start something from the fresh, because this time you're not starting fresh, you're starting with the experience. Okay, so never feel that it's a second time what others will feel, how is it like. Never. You just stick to what you like and just do it with full faith and conviction. Never doubt once you have decided to do it. So that's what I would like to say. This has helped me personally a lot. So I hope this will, help others also a lot.
And 1% guarantee that this statement will help me in my personal life, and I guarantee that audience will get a lot from it in their life.
That is for sure. That is for sure.
So let's end today's episode of the Learning Podcast with a positive statement. Replacing what is this happening to me with what it is trying to teach me is a game changer. Thanks a lot for answering these questions and for being in this episode of the Learning Podcast. It is it is an honor to have you here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Naman. Thank you so much.
So I'll see you in the next episode. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe my YouTube channel. Naman Shah, links are in the description. Thank you.